Senate Resolution 51 by Senator Becker relative to protecting the Amazon rainforest in Ecuador.
Senator Becker.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm proud to present SR 51, which does three things. Number one, it commends the work of indigenous leaders, some of whom joined us right here on the Senate floor just a few months ago, and their communities for their steadfast work in protecting the Amazon biome and safeguarding the future for their children and for our entire planet. Second, it commits the Senate to investigate the impact of California's role in the consumption of crude sourced from the Amazon region. And third, commits the Senate to exploring ways that changes to state policies and practices can assist with efforts to preserve and protect the Amazon rainforest. Colleagues, protecting the Amazon is not just good for the communities that live there, but our climate here in California. California is dependent on the Amazon for temperature and rainfall regulation. In other words, our fates are linked. And I'm going to share a shocking stat. 50% of the oil exported from the Amazon ends up in California refineries. However, I do want to note that not all that oil is used in California. Approximately 12% of the refined California product, over 200,000 barrels a day, is exported in the form of both gasoline and aviation fuel to Nevada and Arizona. About 60,000 is exported to global markets. So in short, the amount of petroleum product exported to other states as a percentage of overall imports to California is a good indicator that reducing California's reliance on crude oil from the Amazon will not restrict necessary supplies for in-state products. I'm sure we will hear about in-state production from my good colleague here in a moment. But as we navigate this transition period, we call it mid-transition, as the California Energy Commission has called it, the mid-transition period, we must continue ways we can ramp down demand as we continue our clean transportation leadership, as well as manage the decline of extraction in a way that prioritizes the needs of our most vulnerable communities, both here in California and abroad. I just want to wrap up to say I'm proud to have welcomed these three leaders and that 15 well-respected advocacy groups have signed on to this resolution. On August 19th, despite the will of the people, despite a resolution that was successful in Ecuador, on August 19th, the government announced 7 new oil blocks on titled indigenous land. And as we speak, the leaders of presidents of 7 indigenous nations are meeting right now to decide their strategy. So I feel this resolution, I know they're looking at this resolution, they're grateful for this resolution, and we hope this is a small but important step towards addressing the concerns of communities in the Amazon and aligns our work to transition off of fossil fuels here in California. I respectfully urge an aye vote.
Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Alvarado Gil. Aye. Archuleta. Aye. Adeguin. Aye. Ashby. Aye. Becker. Aye. Blakespear. Aye. Cabaldon. Aye. Caballero. Aye. Cervantes. Aye. Choi. Aye. Cortese. Aye. Daly. Aye. Durazo. Aye. Gonzalez. Aye. Grayson. Aye. Grove. Aye. Hurtado. Jones. Aye. Laird. Aye. Limon. Aye. McGuire. McNerney. Aye. Menjivar. Aye. Nilo. Aye. Ochoa Bog. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Perez. Aye. Reyes. Aye. Richardson. Aye. Rubio. Sayarto. Aye. Smallwood Cuevas. Aye. Stern. Aye. Strickland. Umberg. Aye. Valadares. Aye. Wahab. Aye. Weber Pearson. Aye. Weiner. Aye. Strickland, aye.
Ayes 37, noes 0. The resolution is adopted.